Carters. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
Nice to be here.
Yes,
How are you?
we're good. Thank you. How about you? Everything okay?
Always fine. Very nice to be
Right.
with you guys.
I was a bit worried because Miss Kathy sent me a message that she said you weren't able to receive an invitation, and I said you just have to check. Just ask him to check the email. I've sent the invitation, yeah, earlier today.
Yeah, it was in my junk email, so I found it
Oh,
eventually.
okay. Oh, so I was placing junk. All right, that's fine. All right. Okay. So, all right. So, how, Mr. Carters, would you like? How do you want us to address you, Mr. Carters? Uh,
Oh, please, can you call me Jason?
Okay,
Jason, please. That would
Jason.
be
All
great.
right. Okay, so we'll be on first
Thank,
name basis then. So I'm
thank you.
Christine, Jason, welcome EJ, and of course, I don't know how to pronounce the name though. Just help me out. Is it KB? Do you prefer? I say
Just
KB.
KB, I guess.
You
Just
prefer KB?
KB.
All right. Okay. So KB then.
Yeah.
Okay. So gentlemen, I suppose that you see the screen right now. So I'm going to. Oh, we're already recording it. Okay, that's great. I hope that this one works. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to test something. I'm not much of a techie person myself, Jason. So I'm using a different extension. So I guess that we are now recording. Okay, then we shall
Great.
begin. All right, as you can see, you've got your screen there. I'm sharing that to you right now. So welcome to the Art Talk, the role of artists in crisis and recovery. Okay, so before we get on with a sort of a business here, we'll just have a quick introduction. So at first, let me just go over my slide. So this will be the flow of our discussion for today. So at first, you're going to introduce yourself to, yes, gentlemen, I'm the only lady here, so do introduce yourselves, please, to me and to the three others who are here right now. Let's start with Mr. Okay, let's start with Jason then.
So, just introduce myself.
Yes, please.
So, my name is Jason Carter. I'm from the UK originally, but of course living in Bahrain for the last 5 years. For 25 years, I was a touring musician, so I toured the world playing concerts. I'm a classical guitarist. I toured in more than 100 countries and recorded 18 albums, but a lot of that work was intercultural dialogue. So music is an amazing platform for intercultural dialogue and healing. And so I went to places like North Korea, Afghanistan, Pakistan, some of the more off-limits places. But over those years, I also was passionate about filmmaking, and at some point the film took over, and now for the last 5 or 6 years I've been working mostly in film. So music still has a very strong role in film because it's very important, but the stories are the leading or the focus. So I just want to say that I've been following the work of the Filipino creatives for quite a long time now, for many months, and I just love the quality, the level of artistry and creativity. I find it very inspiring, so it's a real pleasure to be contributing today.
All right, thank you very much. Well, unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we are not able to really, see each other in person. And it will be, we'll be delighted to actually invite you over to some of the exhibitions. And yes, yeah, that will be something that maybe in the future. Let's just hope that things go very well the next few months. Yeah, we're being hopeful. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you, Jason. Welcome to our Art Talk for tonight. All right, then let's KB. Then back to you, KB.
My name is Kieran. I am a 2D artist. I'm currently an art director of educational management firm here in Bahrain. I'm also the founder and director of an animated explainer video company called Creative Beast Videos. And right now, during this quarantine, during this crisis, it gave me a lot of opportunity to experiment other alternatives to build a business online as an artist. So yeah, so far so good.
Okay. Okay, so KB actually pointed out something very important, very essential there. He pointed out like experimenting on some sort of a different experience. So we will try to expound on that later on then. Okay, thank you, KB. And so, of course, you've got EJ. Yes.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Emmanuel Joseph Reyes, commonly known as EJ. I am a filmmaker who specializes in cinematography. I graduate from Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida, and I've been in the industry for around 6 years now, making lots of films. I think around 600 to 700 at this point. I've made a lot of films, and yeah, I think that's me.
Okay, well, thank you. Okay, thank you, EJ. So it's very interesting because most of you here, you're all, well, of course, it's all in line with art, right? Yet, yes, but all of you has got something in common. So you've got a common ground, which is film. So I did a bit of research. Like, I am an educator, so I am actually an art teacher and an artist at the same time. So, so here, before we start and before we get in business today, so we have, we have sort, we will try to play some sort of a game, okay, just to start it off. It's not something, don't take it personally or don't, it's just a brain teaser. So let me just present this to you. So we're back to the, okay, so this is me. So you had a quick introduction of yourselves. Now we have to go to a brain teaser. So gentlemen, I'm going to send you a link. The link is actually there right on your screen and the code has been given to you. I am so thankful for Quizzes because I got to use some of their resources. So please do log into that link that's been given and also the code. It's going to be instructor paced. Again, don't, it's just, these are just 5 questions. These are easy questions. You're going to ace it. And I reckon that most of you will, or 3 of you here will get the, yeah, perfect score. So there are only 5 questions. Okay, so just log in the code and we shall begin with the game.
All right, cool.
Okay. If you have any problem whatsoever, just so, yes. As you can see there, I'm going to share the tab to you right now. I'm not sure if this tab is going to share this tab. Okay. All right. So I'm just waiting for you. So your names will be, you will see those names or your names there as soon as you log in to that link and you've entered the code. As for now, I'm just
I'm in
waiting.
the select a theme page. I don't know if this is the right one.
Oh, okay. Now hang on. Maybe I should, what I should do is that, okay, just give me a minute as I'm going to send you the link and the code through the chat. Okay, so I'm not sure if that's really working. So let me just send it to you. Jason, is everything okay? Are you able to log in or?
Yeah, I'm in.
You're in, okay. I am not seeing, okay, gentlemen, I don't see your names there, so that means that you're not in the proper, in the correct link. So hang on, I'll just send you the link and the code at the same time. It's easier for you through chat. I know, my students normally have a difficult time also like doing this, but let me make this easier for you. As I've said, if you are logged in, you will see your names there as participants, but right now I don't see your names and I'm not certain. Okay, have you, is there any option there where you can actually log in or just, enter the code or something? Is there an option?
I don't see one.
Okay.
I see everyone, but not that one.
Okay, now give me a minute. You see everyone? So you mean the participants are there? Okay.
Yeah, I see them.
All right. Okay. Let me just see that, or maybe mine is actually not working. Okay. So how come no participants have joined? That is so strange. Okay. Can you please, let's just do this. I am going to send you the link again through chat. Let's try this. Okay. Please do check your chat as I'm going to send you the link. Okay, there you go. And the code as well. Okay. Let me just do that. And then the code. There you go. Because I don't see your names there as participants, so I'm just wondering why there are no participants.
Where's the link? You sent it somewhere?
Through the chat.
Where's that? I don't see that.
The chat is right next at the right side of the here. Right side of your screen.
No, I don't have that.
Okay, doesn't work. Okay.
No, I'm on my phone. It's not. I'm on my phone.
All right. Okay, so EJ is in. Okay, I see you now. Okay, now gentlemen, let's begin. You're all in. Okay, so get ready. So you have only 20 seconds to answer each question. Like I said, only 20 seconds, but there are only 5 questions. Okay, and good luck. Let's begin now.
Let's do
I'm
this.
going to stop now. So there you go. Okay, there's no need for me to read the questions. Okay, so you're all grown up and you don't have to read the questions anyway. Okay, there you go. All right. Okay, let me see now. It's all done. I'm sharing the screen, by the way. So let's see. So of course, okay, the correct answer, of course, is arts. All right. So first we have Jason followed by EJ. Wonderful. Okay. Great job, gentlemen. You got it all correctly. Now, next question. Let's proceed. Question number 2. I did a bit of research here, okay? All done. Wow. Okay, I've got very smart students here. So, first, we have, I suppose everybody got that correctly. All right, so leaderboard. Oh, wow. Okay, impressive. Next question. I told you you're going to ace this. All right, third question then. Okay, you know what? 20 seconds is just too long. I suppose so. All right, so again, you've aced it. If I'm not mistaken, Jason is still at the top, followed by EJ, then KB is third. Wow, okay, good job. Fourth question now. All right. Okay, that was an easy one. Okay, so of course that is yes, but that was easy. I suppose that Jason is still at the top, followed by EJ, and last we've got KB. All right, last question, gentlemen. I'm very impressed. You're all smart. I told you you're gonna ace this. Okay. Oh no! Well, I hear somebody there. So okay.
I thought I clicked the wrong one.
All right. Okay. So you got the correct answer. Yeah. All right. So okay, EJ is a top second, but of course, wonderful job, boys. Okay, gentlemen, you did very good. So let me just share to you now the leaderboard. So of course there are 3 participants, so everybody gets to have a, okay, well, everybody's good is leader anyway. So I'm going to exit now. As you can see there, you will also get, you know, your place. So here you go. I'm showing my screen. I'm not sure if you're seeing that right now. So we've got third place is, okay, a bit of suspense there. All right. Okay, it's buffering. All right, so you've got third place. Okay, come on now. Who is this? Well, sometimes
they know.
Okay, it's trying to compute, I guess. Okay, so third place. Congratulations. You got there. Third place. You got. Okay, so what happened to that? Okay, let me just. Okay, back. I don't know what happened. It's rather slow. Okay. Okay, I don't know what's happening. I don't know, quizzes, come on, do not disappoint me now. I think it's my internet is running slow. So, Okay, I don't know what happened there, gentlemen, but I think I've got some internet issues. But anyway, congratulations to the three of you. You did very, very well. You aced it. Okay, so that was just a teaser, though. All right, so let's go back to our presentation, and we shall begin. Okay. Do you see now my presentation? So we're done with your brain teaser. So now chat away. So we go back. I have sent you three questions, and I thought that maybe it would be, it would be convenient for me to send you the three questions, so you give, a heads up on what we're going to discuss about today. So first question, I would like to ask Jason to please read the first question. Oh, okay. I'm sharing the screen right now. You don't see the screen. Okay. Number one, how has COVID-19 impacted the art industry or sector? So this is a very interesting a question. So maybe we should start with, yes, Jason. Yes, sure.
The willpower to overcome all of these, especially in the film industry. You really have to be really strong and willing to overcome all of these. So that's my answer.
All right. Okay. Thank you, EJ. So everybody actually really struggled, and I suppose I just want to say that it's just not the art sector. I think that everybody's is really affected by what happened. I mean, everybody was caught off guard. We were not prepared. Like you don't foresee what's going to happen. Everything was just uncertain. Okay, then what about KB? Yes, KB.
Oh, all right. I guess in the animation industry, it's kind of bittersweet. I know some people are having some success, especially digital artists like myself, but also there are some digital artists who are having a hard time looking for a job. Um, the animation industry is adapting as much as possible because most tasks can be accomplished remotely, right? And like there are like animation films like Raya the Last Garden, Onward are being released during COVID, and there's also a lot of animated series. I know a lot of animators in the Philippines are still working their butt off. So we're still adapting and still looking for ways how to have a good system to accomplish all of this while we're all in quarantine. But as you may know, I have a job in the educational industry. I don't teach and all, but I work alongside with academics and create illustrations for educational children's books and manage a team of artists remotely. So we don't have to go outside in our houses. Uh, I'm lucky, I guess, because education is something that will never fall, no matter what circumstances. There is, but of course, I still have this fear that maybe somehow and someday I might lose my job, you know, and that is why I built my online business during quarantine. Um, uh, was this? So the business that I provided is like animated explainer videos for B2B startups or software companies because I did some research. Most of these companies are looking for digital marketing assets, and it doesn't require any, going outside or anything. So basically, during quarantine, I transitioned slowly in becoming an artist to a businessman, just because of the idea of the possibility of downsizing. So currently, we are only making money to our beloved retaining clients. I stopped marketing a long time ago, and kind of fully automated it. I'm slowly trying to remove myself from that business because I realized I wasn't truly happy about it. So that's why I mentioned earlier that I was looking for other alternatives to combine art and business at the same time. So so far I'm working on that right now.
Okay, well, good luck, KB. As you can see, I've been gentlemen. I'm just listening to your inputs, and I guess you would agree with me that somehow we have become very innovative at some point. Like I know there has been like too many apprehensions, like uncertainties, but so far we looked beyond that and we became more innovative. If I'm not, if you agree with me,
Yeah.
yes. All right. So, any other inputs before I proceed to the next question?
Yeah, it just made me
Yes, Chase.
realize that it made me realize that for the first time, I mean, I've thought about it before in the last year, but for the first time in our generation and possibly in many generations, at least since World War II, the whole world is living the same story.
Yeah,
So there's
that's
not just
right.
like a pandemic in the UK or Bahrain or in
Mhm.
Philippines. The whole world is living the same story. We are suffering with the same kind of issue. Now,
Mhm.
every country, of course, is dealing with it in a different way and has different resources to deal with it in a different way, and that has a big impact. But we are all faced with the same thing. So it's interesting because you guys, you're Filipino. I don't know if you're in Bahrain or if you're in the Philippines. I think you're in
We're all in
Bahrain.
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 Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
All of us are
Yes.
in Bahrain. Yes.
but still, you would have your networks in the Philippines. I've got my networks in the UK, generally speaking, and other places. So we've got different, and I know it's a very interesting thing for me to feel that we are all in the same boat. Doesn't matter who we are, where we live, or what
That's
we're doing.
true.
We're all
That is
facing
so
the same thing.
true.
So
Yes.
anyway, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's true. I mean, it's a worldwide yes the problem that we're dealing with. It's not just Bahrain, but like Jason pointed out earlier today that Bahrain has done really amazing job in dealing with this. There has been a sense of normalcy compared to other countries because I've got some friends as well who's elsewhere, and it's been very, especially in the Philippines too. My family's in the Philippines, so they've been dealing with this, not as as I could still go out, and them they're in their lockdown. So it's pretty intensive back in other countries, but again, we're so grateful that we're in Bahrain that things are at least normal in some sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's proceed to the second question. How do you think the pandemic will shape future of the artists and art culture and or industry? How do you think? Who would like to point to that?
Mm.
We're talking about the future now. So, after all
Can I
this,
start?
yes, please do.
What I think, I mean, we're talking about the arts here, but I think the same question applies across the board.
Across
Where,
the board, that's right. In general,
in general, yeah.
yes.
So I think what it's shown us is that the way we did things before with churches, with schools, with education,
Hmm.
with business. So I can tell you some tangible stories of how people I know in Bahrain who've worked for big companies. For instance, a friend of mine is a human resources manager of a big company in Bahrain, and they have a big office in Sif, enormous. She's been working from home for a year, and she's never needed to go to the office, and she's done her job equally as efficiently from home. So, and she said that, the guys can go there when they want, if they want, and some of them go there, but the place is empty, and they're paying all this
Hmm.
rent. Schools, education. I think this is one of the biggest things it's shown us how, and again in Bahrain, the education is quite expensive in certain
Hmm.
schools for some people in certain areas of society, and homeschooling has been quite a commonplace over the last year, and I've seen 4 or 5 cases where children who weren't doing very well at school
That's true.
suddenly
Yes.
were homeschooled
Hmm.
and doing not just online school but homeschool, specifically homeschooled,
Hmm.
and they improved tenfold. And I think that society generally, we focused on volume, we focused on numbers. So the more numbers at school, the more income. The more people at concerts, the more money we get. The more people at churches, the more offering we get. And the focus somehow has gone big. And so what it's forced us to do is bring things back to basics. And so look at the Bible models from the early days, it was small groups. If you look at business models, it was small groups. If you look at schools, it was small groups. Why are private schools in the UK 10 kids to a class? Because the kids get special attention. It's very expensive. And so I think it's forced us to relook at the whole way of teaching, the way of organizing, and the way, and also in terms of my own vision, I've always loved to think globally. I've always loved to think internationally. What can I do? You know, how would this idea fit there? Or this kind of film, would that speak to that audience? And I'm always thinking about that, of different cultures. But of course, in this situation, even if I thought of a great idea or something I wanted to pursue in Japan or in England or wherever, you can't, because you can't go there.
Yes.
And so it's forced me to actually simplify things and break things down to my community, my immediate community, which is very interesting for me, because I love to go far and wide. And for me, the world is community. We live in a global community. But however, we have amazing communities in where we live, and I think it's forced us to look very close to us, to look to the communities that we can touch and are tangible, and how can we rethink our lives within those things. And so, in terms of the arts and art teaching and arts in general, I've had to really think about community. And the last little film I did for myself, just towards the end of last year, it was a reflection on that, really, about what it's forced me to think about, you know. So I find it's fascinating. I mean, who wants to be in this position? Nobody. I wanted to get
That's true.
But I think that I've learned something. I think the world has learned something, and I hope that whatever we've learned, we can hold on to, because it's been a tough year. We grow when things are difficult, and of course, there's been a lot of very difficult times for people in terms of loss, in terms of sickness, and there are those of us who are lucky enough not to have been touched by that, and we are the ones that are going to be carrying through, you know, the next stages of things, you know. And so I hope we can remember how difficult it was, and I hope we can remember what we learned, because I've learned a lot. And so we should hopefully take those things forward with us into the next stage, as if things hopefully become more open.
That's right. Interesting that you pointed out, like, you know, in fields of education, because I'm an educator, and it's been very, very tough for us because we don't see the students. Even like we were having difficult times with students at home, parents dealing with their kids at home, children who can't cope with assignments, and parents had to be with their children, and they have got to work during the day. So it's really been very messy when it comes to you know how we right now. So what, like you've pointed out a while ago, like being innovative, and you realize things, and so us teachers, like what we have to do is to get on with what we have right now, which is technology, and we have to go through training as well, just in order for us to reach our students who don't come to school anymore. So it's been very, very tough. But again, you know, when we look back, if so that this ends, and then we look back to this, hopefully that we learn something from this and move forward. And yes,
that's right.
Yes. So thank you, Jason. How about yes, EJ?
Awesome. I agree with what Jason said. He pointed out a lot of good points on lessons we learned during the pandemic. I just want to build on top of that, focusing more on our industry. I think because of the whole situation, a lot of artists will diversify, just like how Jason used to focus on music. Now he's doing directing, and how Kieran's doing his business. Luckily, I unknowingly had a head start with diversifying in the film industry, because I was leading my own team in my previous company, of creatives, so I foresaw all the editing, script writing, directing, and cinematography in the same time. So it kind of like helped boost me for the unknowing pandemic that is now. Because I think a lot of artists will just look on to like diversifying their skills, because that's what you need to survive now. You can't just be like a one-trick pony who only knows how to do one thing, because on top of knowing the arts, you need to know the business side of it now, because you're gonna need to know how to advertise yourself. And when it comes to clients, I think a lot of artists will become closer to their clients, because it's like on top of just building a network, you're building closer relations to them now, because you have to really hold their hand, and um, you have to really hold their hand and like bring them through the whole process, because the way we do films before the pandemic and the way we do the films now is very different. You can't have a crew of more than 5 people show up on set and
Mm-hmm.
make a whole film. A
Right.
lot of the times now it's just maybe like 1 or 2 people
Mm-hmm.
maximum showing up to set or the business to create a film. And this by itself creates a lot of challenges, because I'm sure Jason knows that making films is a collaborative work,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't, just making it with this maximum of 2 people itself is a massive challenge, because these 2 people need to know a wide range of things to get stuff done. And because of this pandemic, I've been doing a lot of my stuff solo, and it's a really big challenge. You come up on set and you have to solve all these problems in this amount of time, and it's fun. It's a massive learning process as well. And looking forward, I really hope that a lot of artists will really grow, to survive this pandemic.
Okay, thank you, EJ. I want to. I've got this question in my head. Do you think that
Sure.
you being technologically advanced, are you to that to that winning edge though? Do you think that because of this pandemic, do you feel like you're more privileged? Do you have that feeling, like personally, because you're technologically advanced? Do you have that certain feeling of an edge over those that, like me, for instance? I'm an art teacher, but we do things not not doing digital, or nothing to do with technology or something. So it is it's very challenging for me. I'm not really far behind, but still there's a lot that I need to learn. So do you feel like personally that you do have a certain edge though? You feel that sort of, some kind of an edge feeling, that
Yeah, I
somehow that you're
understand.
privileged?
I mean, luckily I grew up a nerd, as they say. So I've been really into dabbling with technology. Like I built my own computer. Like I've luckily worked with a lot of cameras, ranging from the really high end, like Aries, down to your basic cameras. And throughout my life, I guess I've been like teaching myself how to use technology, which is really helpful, especially because I specialize in cinematography. So you need to be really technical with your lighting and camera work. So it kind of forces you to be uh, technologically savvy, to be ahead of the game. So um, I guess in my case, I was lucky enough to be forced into that. Uh, yeah.
All right, thank you, EJ. Jason, do you share the same sentiments?
Yeah, I mean, I've become tech savvy. I grew up. I mean, I was born in '69, right? So I'm 52. So I didn't even have a computer until I was 30, and so I had to learn all that stuff. And luckily for me, I find it easy to apply my mind to technology if it has a purpose. So I've learned, and the guys will know, I mean, Da Vinci Resolve, I learned it over the period of years myself, because I could see the potential in this and that. So yeah, I agree with it. I mean, I think when we make films, we already have a sense of what technology is. I've been heard these stories of teachers having to do stuff online and not
Yes.
even knowing how to use Zoom.
That's true.
Making making videos for their kids, and which
Yes.
way do they film them? And I've seen some. We actually did some workshops for free for some teachers because some of the content they were putting out was so awful. The audio was so bad, and just helping them, where do you put your phone and so on. So there's a huge spectrum of people out there who have to use technology for work and have no idea what they're doing. So luckily, I think as filmmakers, we know what to do in that respect. Yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you. And well, of course, KB. Yes, your thoughts, please.
My thoughts. I guess a lot of traditional artists will try to transition to digital, slowly, just so they can, survive the entire crisis. But I believe that traditional artists will definitely keep up because, in my opinion, traditional artists are better than digital artists because they know the fundamentals, right?
Well, I agree
And
with that. As an art teacher, yes.
exactly. Yes, because I started with a pencil before I actually used a stylus pen. And there's no control Z in traditional art, so you have to give them respect to that. And if they're surviving right now, then more respect to them, right?
Right.
And I think how it will shape the future is that some organizations, especially at the corporate world, they'll understand that there's no need for offices, not only in the art industry, but everything else. Uh,
Are you
and
saying
once
we
this is
don't need
all over,
schools as well? I'm going to run a
no,
joke. Okay,
no,
anyway,
no,
sorry,
no.
just carry
Uh,
on. Yeah.
No, like I said, education will never fall no matter what circumstances because everyone needs education. The next generation needs education. That's why I
That's true.
work in an educational management firm, and my and our company was able to adapt during the COVID-19 because we were able to experiment a lot of things online. Like my boss was able to cope up with was able to create a curriculum that students will play Minecraft with the teachers. It was actually it was awesome. I have to create ads for that. I have to
Well,
create
this one I have
Minecraft
to
of
know.
students. You have to know. Oh
Yes,
yeah,
this
after
one
this
I have
interview,
to
yes,
know. Yes.
I get to show it to you.
Okay.
Yeah. So uh, what's this? At the same time, organization must take on board the fact that the workplace will never be the same again. Like a hybrid way of working will become the norm, with some staff in the office and some telecommuting. Technology tools and connectivity will need to be be put in place to make this as seamless as possible. So sometimes it is hard to imagine what our lives were like pre-coronavirus. And under 6 months, most of our lives have changed dramatically. We are all in this. However, for the long haul, the impact of the pandemic, especially for artists, will be with us for a long time to come.
All
So
right.
yeah.
Okay, thank you, KB. I suppose also one thing that we have to consider is acceptance. I mean, it's pretty much difficult. There's still a sense of denial of the real scenario, what's really going on, and what's the
Yes.
future ahead. So that's something that needs to be processed and addressed as well. So, yes. Okay, thank you,
So
gentlemen. Yes,
can I have
sure.
one more?
Yes, sure,
Uh,
Kate.
you make a valid point. I totally agree, and
Mm-hmm.
because I know a lot of artists who just gave up and blaming the global crisis. Yes, it is
Yes.
truly a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
It is truly a disaster, but we have to learn how to adapt and cope up with it. And
Mm-hmm.
because the only thing we can truly control in our life is how we respond to things.
That's
And
true.
my tip
Mm-hmm.
for them is during this time, learn new stuff, learn how to make money online, learn a new skill. This is the
Mm-hmm.
best opportunity to better yourself because you're
Mm-hmm.
just isolated in this, you know,
Mm-hmm.
in this, in your place. So yeah.
That's right. Yeah. And that's all we need as well is a sense of optimism. You have to be positive. Your outlook should be positive as well. In spite of what's going on, just be positive. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. Now we are now on our third question. Do you think lessons learned during the pandemic follow through after normalization, and how?
Well, I kind of reflected on that already in my last question. I think we need to really take on board what we've learned from this as we move forward. We don't even know what normal will be if normal is
That
abnormal
is
again.
true.
Will we?
Yes.
I remember when SARS first hit Asia, and I'm not sure if it hit the Philippines, but I know that it hit China and also Singapore. Now, I lived in Singapore in 2007, and even in 2007, everybody wore masks in public. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what are they doing? They're wearing masks in public. Why? What is it so bad here? You know, it may have been a bit of pollution, but it wasn't too bad. Not like when Bahrain's quite polluted. You know. Anyway, so I saw that, thought, well, what's happened? You know, but now I understand. And I think when SARS was around, it was. I think it was even more deadly than coronavirus. I'm not sure, but I believe it was either equally as serious or not, or maybe more serious. I don't know. But the death rate was quite high amongst the small population that it hit. And so we have a virus in our midst, and hopefully we'll become immune to it, or we'll develop antibodies or whatever, and we've got vaccines and stuff. But how much will we get back to normal? Will we always wear masks? Will there be a separation between vaccinated and unvaccinated? How is that going to affect people's self-esteem? Some people can't get vaccinated because they have allergies or they've got a condition. So many questions to be answered as see, no one knows the answer to anything. No one knows, you know, because it's a first. So I think it's a case of keeping an open mind, learning to adapt. I think adaptation, as artists, we're used to it. We are always on the adaptation, in adaptation mode. At least I think, you know, because the creative mind works like that. And so, in a way, I think the artists have an incredibly incredibly strong responsibility, because we are the ones in a way that cradle people with the art that we make. And so if you're a painter, you know, when people buy paintings, they buy them because it gives them something. You know, people buy music or they go to concerts because they feel touched by something. And imagine the world without painting, without art, without music. And so I think it's our responsibility to be adaptable, but also to keep listening to what the questions are from people. You know, the German philosopher Carl Jung said, you know, the most successful artists, the ones that he can see, are the ones that are asking the same questions as society. And I remember U2 were the biggest band in the world back in 1993, 94. Their two albums, Europa and Achtung Baby. What I loved about those albums was that those albums were basically, every song was full of questions of society at that moment. And there were loads of stuff going on in society, political, violent, there were wars, there was this and that. And these guys literally were good listeners. They listened, they were able to listen to the society, listen to the world, and ask the same questions as everybody else, but put it in music, basically. And I think if we can do that, if we as artists, if we can listen to what the questions are, be open-minded and generous, don't only think of ourselves, and process those questions, and then be creative with those things, I think that we are in a great position to help people. And whether that's in your community, whether it's in your family, or whether it's in your country or internationally, I think that if we're able to do that, I think we have a lot to give society. And so I know I've steered away from the question you asked me, but I think listening and learning to adapt and learning to contribute in that process will affect people around us.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Jason. How about, yes, EJ?
Yes, I believe that a lot of the lessons we learned during the pandemic will follow through normalization. Because as I stated earlier, and as the others stated earlier, that a lot of the artists now are diversifying in their skill set, and I believe this will follow through, because a lot of the artists I have to make one of two decisions: either to become better and better themselves, or to straight up give up and blame everything else. So I believe the first set of artists who learn to diversify and better themselves will continue to do this even after normalization, whatever that may be, and continue to grow. Because as I see it, the only way to continue being a creative now and moving forward is to just continue expanding and growing, not just as a person, but also as a creative.
All right. So I like that you pointed out to adaptability and being diverse in so many ways. And how about KB?
Um, I agree with this too. They stole my answers.
You have more answers.
I'm always going first. Let's realize, man,
I love your
age,
answer.
and I'm kind of speaking for everybody. So sorry.
No, no,
It's
no,
all
no.
right.
I'm
Yes, KB.
speechless. But
Yeah.
I'll try to make this short. I agree with this too. But some artists, for me, to make the some artists will be more disciplined. Well, a good amount of artists will, because in my opinion, a lot of things can change to a person's personality and habit when they are isolated in one place or experiencing some solitude for some people. Because I consider myself someone like myself. What's this? I know a lot of artists who are able to change their environment and uh, how they how they interact with people and how they adapt with their professional career. Because, like I said, I consider myself someone who hates reading books, especially non-fictions. But during COVID, I became passionate in reading because I realized there's so many things in life that I don't know, and also there are so many possibilities that an artist can do with a specific skill set. So I think one of the lessons that we should take note during COVID, that life itself has life. What's this? Whatever artist you are, whatever skill set that you're trying to improve, just keep on improving, because believe me, it's an endless learning process, and that is one of the things that my mentor taught me actually.
All
So
right.
yeah.
Okay. Now, gentlemen, this has been very, very interesting. You have learned a lot from your inputs. And but before we go, I would like to hang on. I'm just going to share this with you. You got 2 minutes to actually. I did not include this because it's kind of a surprise. So you got like 2 minutes. Just to recap all the things that we've discussed about tonight, the role of artists in crisis and recovery. So, just 2 minutes, just any special words, last minute words, anything. So you're not obliged to really finish 2 minutes. I've actually I was planning to set the timer, but then again, I don't want to put you into the position. So you may just say a few last words to each one of us, if there's anything. And okay, so Jason, would you like to start, or EJ? So we could do it this way, so that KB would have his answers. But it's gonna steal our answers from him. Let's go around now. Okay, so let's start with let's start with KB then. Yes, any last words, thoughts, any special messages?
As not just a hobby or maybe like a profession one day, let me know. My information's with Christine.
All right.
And
Yeah.
I because I believe as an artist, especially during this time, um, if we want to improve ourselves, we need to look for people who are already in the industry. So I want to help out whoever is interested, as as my way of thinking and giving back to the community. So yeah, That's my 2 minutes.
All right, that's your 2 minutes. Okay, that was less than 2 minutes, by the way. Okay. All right, thank you, EJ. How about, yes, let's turn to Jason then.
These guys stole my answers.
Now you know what I
Well,
feel.
you have more up your sleeves, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love what KB said about 10% inspiration, 90% perspiration. You know, any artistic endeavor, it's the vision, whilst it may be exciting and groundbreaking and enormous, is the tiny part of any artistic process. Making an album takes weeks or months. Making a documentary takes months. But I think, in essence, we've got to remember to stick together and collaborate. And I think that I've seen it in Bahrain. Now, Bahrain's a small place anyway, but I'm sure you guys would understand this, and I've seen it yourselves. So I used to see a lot of division amongst film companies, a lot of competition. People are so competitive here, and not generous. And I would never become. I refuse. Excuse me a second. It's very noisy.
Okay.
Guys. Sorry.
That's fine.
I think
Yes.
I've seen the way that people have started to actually look out for each other a bit more. I was shocked. I've seen some of the way that people will treat each other here in terms of business, and it's changing. I've seen it change in certain people. People are becoming, because when we cannot survive alone anymore, we cannot. I mean, not that we should anyway. And so, yeah, stick together, look out for each other. And also, yeah, don't be afraid to ask professionals. And I like the way that EJ said, reach out to him. Reach out to any of us if you want to ask questions, get advice. Because, the difference between, I think, how do I put this? It doesn't take much to take those steps into walking into a new profession, into a new future. And there are often you find extremely talented people who just lacking confidence or lack the affirmation. And you as a teacher, Chris, will understand that. Your job is to affirm people.
Yes.
It's to teach them, of course, and you're teaching them skills. But fundamentally, they can have all the skills in the world, but if they're not affirmed as human beings, they are not going to go very far. So yeah, I just like to say that really. Offering also anyone who wants to reach out to any of.
Connection, like we all on the same field here, we're on the same boat here, so hopefully
Right.
like we don't know what normalization is going to look like. However, like you gentlemen have pointed out, that it's just what is important is that we have to adapt to change, whatever the change is, and have a positive outlook.
Yeah.
I guess that's a very important message, and very important messages that came from all of you tonight. Okay. Anyway, so that's it. I guess that's the conclusion of our talk. That was very interesting, and it's been like I said, a delight to have you, three of you here for just a short discussion. Okay.
Pleasure.
All right. Well, thank you very much,
Awesome.
Jason. We'll see you soon, and KB and EJ. Well, thank you very much,
Right.
and gentlemen, have a good night. See you very soon. Okay. Bye bye.
Thank you,
See you guys
Chris.
soon.
Yes, you're
Bye-bye.
welcome. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right. Okay. Bye bye.